YouTube, welcome back. We're in the shop today. We got a fun little welding project. I don't think it's going to take too long. We have, step back, a Cat Eye Chevy 2005 half-ton, and it has factory Wi-Fi idler arm. And so if you look, you can see the sheet clean broke off down there. So we gotta get the bracket taken off of the idler arm there, the assembly, and then we gotta clean that all up right down there, and we gotta weld it back together. So hopefully I'm not wrong. I estimated this would take about 3 hours, and I'm 1 minute into it. So I think the smartest thing to do first is to get that bracket off, and then I can bring it over to the welding table and we can clean it all up, grind off all the nasty, and then I think we're gonna have to use the die grinder down in there to clean up what's on the frame still. There's basically like no chance I'll be able to get an angle grinder in there. So we'll clean all that up, get the bracket mated back up to it, get it tacked, and then I'm gonna get an impact, and I don't know if I'll be able to get an impact on that, but I'm gonna start trying to take those two bolts out, and we'll go from there. I got the bracket out, and it's worse than I thought. I couldn't tell in there, but these two tangs, they're broken off and still bolted to the Pitman idler. I'm gonna TIG weld this inside joint on both of these, flip it over and TIG weld inside of this one as well. And then I'm gonna grind the outside and grind it down and weld a full penetration bead, and then we'll grind that flat again. And I'm trying to decide if there's any sort of reinforcing we can do on that. The customer's told me he's had this truck for about 20 years, and anyways, he told me that this has actually broke off on him before in a different spot. It broke off the frame, so up against the edge of the frame there is where it broke off before. This truck does have a 6-inch lift, and it has like 33-inch tires on it. Maybe the angles of the lift, I don't know, it's crazy. I've seen bigger lifts and stuff like that, and not seen this. Not saying I've seen a ton of automotive welding repair like this, but it's just kind of surprising for me. So anyways, like I said, we're going to use the Everlast PowerTech 210 EXT, and we're just going to weld this inside seam. Just because I can get a flatter weld that's really strong with TIG, and I won't have to try grinding goofy in there and accidentally grind too thin. And then on the outside, we'll grind out this seam with the die grinder, and we'll get a good, really heavy full penetration weld on there. And we might even pad it up a little bit, because we can go a little thicker on the outside. We can't go thinner on the inside because it's got a clearance at Pitman idler. So anyhow, get the TIG filler rod, and we're gonna weld that seam up.
Hit that like button.
So we're welded up here. I am gonna knock this bead profile down a little bit. I ground these beads down, but not flush. There's still profile there. I don't want to lose out on any strength, so you can see the beads still exist, because I don't want to take away any parent material and thin this out at all. So like I said, I'm going to knock these down a little bit, and then we're going to go focus on cleaning up the bracket inside the truck, and then we'll work on welding this in there. It's coming along, probably about the same pace as I was expecting. So okay, that bad boy's in there. I got 3 pretty chubby welds on either side. I grounded out, and anyway, there's that side. Let's see if we can get you a view on the other angle. This side's a little uglier, but it's got about 4 welds all the way through it, and nice and hot. So she's in there. Got it bolted back in. I'm gonna slap some paint on it so it doesn't rust, and then we gotta put this splash guard back on, and then it's another job done. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe though. There she is. So The weld on the back side, closer to the engine, is hard because half of it had to be done from above and half from below, so the start and stop's kind of rough. But that is 4 passes top to bottom, so I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Thanks for watching.